not even 3 hours in, and we received 3 positive replies. This is hands down the best cold email I've received in a while. Timing is great too. We've just onboarded a few reps and I'm looking for ways to get them ramped quickly. Let's set up a time to chat. What's your availability early next week? So this guy literally is saying, hey, yes, let's hop on a call right now. Like, I want to pay you money. Hey, today I'm going to go ahead and sell Sales Systems live in front of you. I'm literally going to show you how I'm going to find leads, find their emails, come up with an offer, and personalize each message for each lead all the way to getting real replies from real people who want to work with me. And I'm going to do it all using N8N. You'll learn some of the tactics that I personally use inside my 7-figure agency. That way you guys can take that and get up and running yourselves. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to tackle 3 things. 1, research plus strategy. Second thing would be infrastructure, where I'm going to go ahead and buy the emails. I'm probably going to go for pre-warmed up emails because I just want to get up and running as quickly as possible and get a client ASAP. And then the third step would be basically just get in leads. And then the fourth step would be essentially just close those leads. Okay. So the target that I'm going to be going for is going to be companies hiring for sales. Okay. So target companies hiring for sales. Okay. And in terms of the company sizes, I'm going to go for 11 to 50, 51 to 200, and then 201 to 500. The reason why is because it's going to leave me with companies that are big enough to have budget, but small enough to make decisions quickly. Okay. So this is the target: 11 to 50, 51 to 200, 201 and 500. In terms of the personas that I want to talk to, it's probably going to be VP. So let's just type in personas. Okay. So persona is going to be VP of sales. And then sales managers. Now, I know you might be thinking, Saad, why are you going for sales managers and VP of sales? Well, I mean, think about it. They're the ones feeling the pain when new hires aren't hitting quota because of weak pipeline, because we're going for companies hiring for sales. So they're also the ones who get blamed when the sales team isn't performing or when the sales team misses targets. And now I understand it even better, right? Because I have 20 sales reps and I also have a sales manager. So I understand because I live this every single day, right? Another big reason is because these people live and breathe pipeline metrics. Think about it. They know exactly what it costs when a new account executive sits around with an empty calendar for the first 90 days. Okay? So sales managers are going to be perfect. So this is going to be the persona. So sales managers and VP of sales. Sales managers are perfect because they're close enough to the day-to-day to feel the pipeline pressure, but senior enough to have budget authority for solutions. Okay. In terms of like VP of sales, they are ideal for bigger deals, but might have more of a bureaucracy vibe, but we're still going to go for it. And keep in mind, guys, your message will hit the person who is responsible for the team's performance harder, okay, than any decision maker in that company. Okay, so these are the personas. The target is companies hiring for sales, 11 to 50. This is basically the company size, 21 to 51 to 200, 201 and 500 personas, VP of sales and sales manager. Okay, so this is the target. Now let's talk infrastructure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and buy pre-warmed up emails. I'm going to get 50% Microsoft and I'm also going to get 50% Google. So let me just go ahead and do it right now. Perfect. So I'm just going to go to a puzzle inbox and I'm just going to buy a couple emails. I'm going to go to pricing and then I'm going to go to pre-warmed up. So this is the ones I'm going to go get started. Okay. So I'm going to get 15. So total would be 15. Okay. I'm going to put in my credit card real quick. Okay, great. Just bought them. Now I'm just going to type in my name. WhatsApp number. I'm just going to have to blur this. Number of inboxes. I had 15. Software instantly. Software credentials, I'm going to have to blur this. Okay, sweet. We'll be in touch shortly to complete your setup. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy an additional emails using Zapmail. So I'm getting Google inboxes from Puzzle Inbox, and I'm also gonna get Microsoft just for optimal deliverability. Because when you send emails or you're doing any sort of outreach, Google need to send to Google and Microsoft need to send to Microsoft. Okay, so you should not be sending Google to Microsoft. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to pricing. And the one that I want is Microsoft, and these are pre-warmed up, so I'm just gonna get 30. And I'm just gonna put my email here, acknowledge, buy now. Okay, so we just purchased the emails. Now I'm just gonna wait 6 to 12 hours while Puzzle Inbox and Zapmail just link my emails to Instantly, okay, which is the cold email software that we're gonna be using to reach out to these companies hiring for sales, okay? So companies hiring for sales, okay, how do we find them? Well, the most straightforward way is just basically scraping LinkedIn. So I'm going to walk you guys through the filters that I'm going to be using. Okay, so scraping LinkedIn, I'm going to scrape LinkedIn jobs. Okay, so I'm just going to go to LinkedIn jobs. So this is LinkedIn jobs. Essentially, I'm just going to go to filters, and I want to filter by past month. So 2.8 million results. I'm going to go to mid-senior level and director, because we do not want to go for entry level or internship, just because if we do, typically these companies are just either broke, or the decision maker that we're going to be reaching out to is not going to have the decision making power. Okay, so in terms of jobs, I'm going to leave that empty. Industry, okay, so financial services, yes. Software development, yes. What else? I'm gonna go to industry. I'm gonna type in internet. So technology, information, internet. And I'm also gonna add computer, networking products, computer, computer network security, yes. Computer, games, yes. Okay, so job functions is always going to be sales. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's show 30K results. Okay, I have 30,000. That's a lot of companies. So mid-senior level director, I believe that's pretty much it. So just double checking. Okay, job function sales. Oh yeah, we need sales manager. We need salesperson. Boom. So I have right now 6K. So I'm just gonna scrape 6K. So the most straightforward way is I'm just gonna go to Epify. Right? So I'm gonna go to Epify, just type in LinkedIn jobs. Okay, so the one that I want is remove duplicates, yes. So try for free. I'm gonna go ahead and scrape all of this. I'm just gonna copy this URL. I am gonna paste it here. Okay, that's pretty much it. Location, I'm just gonna delete this. General settings, 6,000. Oh, let's see how many do we have here. 6,390. Okay, so 6,390. Okay. Proxy configuration, residential, run options, no timeout. And then I'm simply gonna save and start. So right now I'm scraping all the leads. So starting the actor, running the actor. The actor is gonna go ahead and basically scrape all this data for us from LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause the recording really quick while the scraper just scraping the leads for me, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. All right, everybody, we just scraped 6,300 leads from LinkedIn jobs of companies hiring for sales. So I'm just gonna export, download, hiring for sales. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to sheets.new. By the way, if you go to sheets.new, you can essentially just create a new sheet instead of going to Drive and just manually creating a Google Sheet. There's also docs.new. So if I go to docs.new, I can essentially just create a new doc, right? So very easy. It's gonna save you a lot of time. So I'm just gonna go to sheets.new right now. Same thing. I just create a new sheet, and then I'm just gonna name this starting a sales system campaign live. Okay, so I'm gonna go to File, Import, essentially just drag and drop my lists, and I'm gonna do some cleanup, right? And then essentially the next step is going to be just enrichment. Okay, so append, import data. All right, so right now I'm just gonna make this a little bit better. I'm gonna make this a little bit aesthetically pleasing. So resize rows, specify row height. Okay, I don't want the application. I don't want the apply URL. I don't want the benefits. I just don't want the company ID. I'm just gonna delete these. So delete columns. I'm gonna make this bold. I'm gonna use Intro, which is the best font on the planet Earth. Okay, so this is gonna be company name. Okay, this is the company LinkedIn URL. I don't want the contract type. I don't want the experience level. I need the job description because we're going to do something pretty cool. Job description. I don't want the job ID. I also don't want the job title, to be honest. Location, I don't care about it. Posted time, I don't care about it. Post your full name, I don't care about it because this is the hiring manager. I want to reach out to my exact persona, which is VP of sales and sales manager. Okay, so delete these. Published ad, I don't really care. Delete. Post your profile URL, I don't really care about it. Okay, so job URL, etc. So I'm just gonna fix this. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time because it's 6,000 leads. Okay, so now what do I want? Well, this is the job URL. I'm gonna delete it too. Okay, I'm gonna add company size, or actually persona. This is gonna be company size. This is gonna be email, and this is gonna be personalization. We'll just name this for now anti-fragile personalization, but because we're not going to be using this weird personalization you see online from gurus. I saw your last post about your baby. Nobody cares. We want to reach out to them with something relevant and timely. Okay, so okay, now let me just make this a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for you guys. So I like yellow. It's my lucky color. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So persona, this is where we're going to put the VP of sales. I'm going to show you guys how to find the personas. We're going to use some rapid APIs, and we're going to use like an N8N system that's going to help us do this. We're probably going to use a combination of N8N and make.com, company size, email, anti-fragile personalization. Yeah. Also, so we have the company name, right? I think it's cleaned. Oh, we need to clean the company name. Yeah, we need to clean the company name from LTD Enc. You see this Enc? So yeah, all right. So that's pretty much it. So this is gonna be sheet 1, company name. So looks about right. Okay, well right now what do? Well, we need to find the persona, which is the VP of sales or sales manager. We need to also add the company sizes. I'm going to show you guys how to find the company size of a company. And then we need to find the emails and we need to generate the personalization. It's going to be high quality. Okay, let's just go ahead and scope out the thought process and how we can transition that into an N8N sales system. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to get to the domain. So step 1 is we need domain. Well, how do we find the domain of a company? Well, if you guys went to the company LinkedIn, right? If you go to any company's LinkedIn profile, you will see that it's in the about. So about page, you will see that they already include their website here. Okay, so we need to scrape their LinkedIn, right? The company's LinkedIn, we need to scrape it. Okay. Now, fortunately, I already have a tool for this. So it's called the Command Center, which is essentially our own internal tools that every member in the community just uses freely. Okay. So let me walk you guys through how we're going to be doing this. So I'm just going to go to the Command Center and I'm just going to test this in front of you. Okay. So this is the one that we want, the company LinkedIn. So essentially all you have to do is just feed in the URL of the company. In our case, Noble Plastics. So if I just paste this in this body and call this API, I test endpoint. Boom, I have the company website. Okay, sweet. So now I have the company website. Well, Let me go back. And then this is going to be check. Okay, so now I have the domain. Well, what do I do now? I need to find the decision maker, which is the VP of sales or the sales manager. Okay, well, how do I find the decision maker? Well, I will simply have to Google it, right? For example, now this is the company. Now, if I type in sales manager, for example, this is their website, okay? So sales, okay, learn more. Sales team information. Is there a way I can get, what do we do? Okay. So this is the guy, Mark Murphy, sales director. View profile. So this is the guy. Awesome. So now, if I simply type in Google, sales director, Noble Plastics. This is the guy in LinkedIn. All right. Okay, so now I did this manually. Well, how can I automate this? Well, the simple, most straightforward way is just use an API, which is going to be Google Search API, okay? So let me go to Google Search API. I'm going to leave you guys all the resources down below, by the way. So this is the Google Search API, okay? So let me go to Playground. So essentially, this just works exactly like literally Googling the decision maker. If you go to the code snippets, which is essentially, this is how you can use it. You see this HTTPS Google Search Rabbit API query Nike. So essentially, if I copy Nike and I just Google Nike, now I called the Google's API. Okay, so same thing, right? The only thing I have to do is just query the website URL that we just found plus sales manager plus VP of sales, and I'm going to get to the decision maker. Okay. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. All right. So step 2 is going to be find decision maker. All right. So decision maker using a search, a simple search. Okay. And the third step, since I will find the decision maker and I have the domain, well, I can simply find email. Because the way you're going to find an email is you need a full name plus a company name or the company website, okay? Because the way it works is that they try, for example, the first name of that decision maker with the website. They try different variations. For example, my company is myoprocess.com. They're going to try Saad at myoprocess.com. Saad plus my last name at myoprocess.com. And we're going to retrieve the email out of that, okay? So find email. And fourth step is we need to filter company size. Because we only reach now, just like we talked about in the beginning, 11 to 50, 51 to 200, 200 to 500, okay? Now, the cool part is that the command search also gives you number of employees, okay? Which is awesome. So this company is within the range that I want. Awesome. So we're going to have to reach out to this company. Okay. So this is basically the thought process. Let's just go ahead and build out this entire system in N8N. Let me just close all these tabs so you guys don't get overwhelmed. And I'm just going to go to N8N. Okay. And I'm just going to create a new workflow. And I'm going to be using some of the nodes that I already have in multiple scenarios, but at the end, you're just going to have to copy and paste the system. So add first step, trigger manually. Okay. So if I execute once, nothing is going to happen, obviously, because I did not link it to anything. But now I need to get the data from this Google Sheet. Now, N8N is annoying with Google Sheets. You cannot just retrieve just one test. So I'm going to be using, again, my tools, my own internal tools. So let me just go to overview and let me show you guys the magic. So I believe this is the one, yeah. Okay, so I need this module, which is going to be Google Sheets Reader. Close this tab. And then I'm simply going to have to connect this. It's simply just paste in the URL, copy, and I'm going to have to paste it here. Limit, I'm just going to put 1. Execute the step. And there we go. I got the company name and I just retrieved one item. Okay, well, this is the beauty about having your own internal systems, right? You just can manipulate the data however you want without relying on N8N, okay? Because they have this weird thing where you can't just, it's an all or nothing situation, right? Which is very unfortunate with Google Sheets and N8N. So this is going to be get data. I'm going to click on this plus button. And since now I have one record, I can essentially just query the command center using the company LinkedIn info, okay? Company LinkedIn scraper. I'm going to go to app and then code snippets, app again. And I'm just going to query this URL. So copy. And I'm going to have to go to my N8N HTTP request. So I'm going to make a request, call this API. The method is going to be post because if you guys noticed here, the method is post, okay? And I need rapid API host, so copy this header. And I'm simply gonna go to headers, paste this here, and Control C, paste this here. Again, add parameter. Now I need the API key, which is gonna be an API key. So every member actually gets their own API key, which is pretty cool. Paste this here. And then this is the API key. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste it here. Send body. I'm just gonna query the URL. Okay, I'm just gonna add this using JSON. So it's going to be URL. And I'm gonna have to put the company LinkedIn. So copy, paste this here and close the bracket. So I can execute the step. Boom, now I have the website. I also have the number of employees. Awesome. Also the followers, which are pretty nice. Okay. So this is going to be get domain. Okay. So step 3 is I need to find the decision maker. Again, I'm just going to use the Google Search API. So simply HTTP. So we're just making requests to these APIs. Very, very easy. Okay, so method get, this is the URL. Okay, now this is the URL that they provide you. Now we need an URL specifically to retrieve the VP of sales and the sales manager. Well, I got you guys. I already have something similar, which is a document. Yeah, VP of sales. Use this if you're targeting companies hiring for sales. So copy this, Control C, then go back, simply paste this here. Awesome. Send headers, yeah. So send headers again, Google search. Same thing, very straightforward. Control C. Paste this here. Paste this here, add parameter. Again, same thing. I'm gonna have to get the API that they're gonna give me. Control C. Paste it here. Copy this API key. And simply just paste it here. Well, now what do? I'm gonna execute the step. I'm gonna get the data here. Now ignore this, okay? This is gonna be get decision maker. Okay, now step 4, I need to feed this data to AI. Okay, so I can get the full name from Rapid API because they're gonna give you like a string of results. Okay, so simply I'm just gonna use an LLM model. So LLM, basic LLM chain. So what I'm gonna do is retrieve the full name from result. As you guys can see, Mark Murphy. This guy seems familiar. Is this the guy? Oh yeah, it is actually the guy, Mark Murphy. Director of sales, see? So now what do? We'll retrieve the full name from title as it might be reflected in the person's LinkedIn URL because we're going to also feed in the URL. All right, so let me just paste this here again. All right, so return the full name only with no additional text. Okay, I'm gonna use just OpenAI from Azure, and then it's gonna be GPT-4o. GPT-4o. I believe this is the one, GPT-4o, I believe. Let's test. Actually, it's not that. It's GPT-4o. Am I crazy? Oh yeah, silly. So GPT, or just like this, 4o. Yeah. Well, now I can run this. Boom. Output Mark Murphy. Sweet. Well, now I have the data, right? I have the decision maker. Well, now I can find their email, just like I mentioned here. Need domain, find decision maker. So this is going to be check. So this is going to be, again, check. Okay, so I need to find the email. I'm simply going to use the command center 2, which is an email finding tool that we also have. So I'm going to click on this plus button, HTTP request again. And the one that I'm going to be using is going to be email, not email verifier, email finder. Email finder to this URL, Control C. Simply, method is going to be posts, because if you guys noticed here, method is posts. Well, I need again my Rapid API. Actually, I can just copy and paste this. Yeah. So paste this here. I can just paste this Xrapid API key. Okay. Add parameter, value. Control C. I'm gonna close this tab, paste this here, and I need to send body as in JSON. So so it's gonna be full name, and the full name is gonna be Mark Murphy. Okay, and I need company website. Yes. Okay. So now I'm gonna get domain, which is domain here. I'm simply gonna put it right here, and then close the brackets, and boom, execute the step. Validate JSON. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. So now if I execute, okay, full name. Oh yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, now it's good. Let's execute the node. Valid. Okay, sweet. We have the email. All right. So now what do I do? Well, I'm just gonna name this find email. Okay. Now I only want to process the leads where I can find where I found the email. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add an if. So only if status equals valid and email exists. So, okay, so true. Now I can just update my sheets. So go to sheets and update row any sheets. Okay. So from list, start a sales and campaign live. This is going to be sheet 1. Okay, map in each column manually. And I'm going to have to map in row number. And the row number is row number. Okay, so company LinkedIn URL, I already have it. Persona is the guy. Company size, well, I'm simply going to get it from get domain. Yeah. So number of employees, which is company size, and the email is going to be email. And ESP, in terms of ESP, I'm going to have to update that later on. So let me just execute the step. Okay, let me go back. Okay, sweet. So I have the company size, I have the email, and I have the person. Awesome. So now I'm just going to have to run the entire thing in like 6,000 leads. Okay, so simply, I'm going to go to get data. Now I just tested this. Now I can just limit 6,000, and I can just run the entire thing. Obviously, I'm gonna have to batch, so I'm gonna have to not get rate limited. So parameter, yeah, I'm gonna have to batch this. So batch and one every 1000 ms, yeah, and also for the domain, yeah, gonna have to batch this same thing. So batch one item per 1000 ms. And in terms of the command center, I'm gonna batch every 3000 ms. Yeah, so I don't get rate limited. Okay, because when you work with APIs, when you send in so much data, we have 6,000 leads, you need to batch things, which is the reason why N8N is better than Make.com, to be honest, because you can batch things, you can loop. Make.com just is the worst at aggregating and looping and batching things. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna execute the step. It's probably gonna take me probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So I'm just gonna leave this to run. And the next step is basically just filtering by company size, because we're gonna have multiple company sizes here. For example, 1,000, 5,000. So we're just gonna get the 21, 500, the 501, 200, and essentially just filter that in the Google Sheets. And we're only gonna dealing with companies that are hiring for sales, with valid emails, and with the right decision makers. And by the way, I just received a WhatsApp message from Puzzle Inbox. Check this out. So hopefully you can see, this is my Instantly dashboard. You know, they said 15 accounts added to Instantly, right? This is the one. Okay, so now I'm just gonna run this and get back to you guys. Alrighty, so I just finished validating the emails and essentially just adding the company size to this row company size, right? So I'm left with 3,700-ish leads, which is pretty cool. Now what do? Well, I need to check these. Done. Now I need to filter by company size, okay? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to my system right here. And now I will have to essentially just unlink this, okay? Because I need my flow to personalize. And the only thing I have to do is have an LLM model. I'll just use a basic one, okay? And then I'm gonna, probably I'm gonna stick, I'll just use Azure again, yeah. Okay, GPT 4.0, but just one for now, okay? So I will feed in the company size to AI, and I'm gonna have to say, hey, filter by 11 to 51, 51 to 100, and 100 to 200, 200 to 500. Okay, that way I can get like a range. Okay, so simply I'm gonna go to this define below, and I think I already have a prompt for this, because simply I have prompts for everything at this point. Let's see. Filtering company size. Okay, so normalize these formats. All right. So Control C, paste this here, and let's see. Okay, so 51 to 200. All right, awesome. So right now, I'm gonna have to update the sheet. Yes. All right, I'm gonna have to update the sheet. So it's gonna be in, I need to refresh this since I edited the Google Sheets when cleaning up. If you guys notice, I did some cleaning up here, basically some housekeeping, so you guys can see everything in a more aesthetically pleasing way. Okay, so, yeah, I need to add the company size, which is company size here. Okay, execute. Let's see. All right, see, now it's way better. All right, so we'll just try 500. Okay, so the cool part about N8N is you can batch. So I'm getting 45, you know, until I get to 500. And there we go. So I have all these company sizes. Okay, so now I can simply just filter by. So I don't want the blanks. So I don't want 500 to 1000. And yeah, I don't want 1000 plus. And I don't want 1 to 10 because they're broke. I don't want 1306. See, now I can just filter like very easily, right? Because I want 11 to 50, 51 to 100, 101 to 200, 201 to 500. That's it. I don't want big, huge companies. I just want some of these. Okay, sweet. So now I have my list. Now I need to filter by ESP, okay? I'm gonna go and use the command center for that. I believe we have an endpoint for that. I'm not really sure. There's an endpoint specifically just to retrieve the company size. Email provider, yes, email provider. Okay, here's an example. So here's my email. If I test endpoint, it's a Google Workspace. Yeah, because I have this email. It works, Google Workspace. So simple thing. I'm just going to have to go to headers. Actually, I'm going to go to code snippets. I lied. I'm going to copy this and I'm simply going to paste this here, unlink this, execute. Okay, since I have the email of the person, well, I can just click on this plus button, make an HTTP request. So make a request to this URL, and then I'm simply going to have to map the email here. Boom. All right. Rapid API host, Control-C, paste this here. Okay, and then again, same thing, just like we did with every node in the command center. Paste this here. All right. Okay, execute the flow. That was pretty quick. All right, so Google Workspace, sweet. Unlink this. ESP is going to be ESP. Boom. Undefined. So I have no idea why I'm getting this issue. So I'm just gonna use like an N8N GPT that will help me. So I'm just gonna troubleshoot it. So I'm just gonna feed in a screenshot. So fix. That's it. Let's see. So the problem is our expression. So the fix is this. So we need a JavaScript expression. Interesting. Okay, let's execute. Okay, so that was, all right, so we just found it. Awesome. Thank you, the N8N assistant, GPT. Let's check the Google Sheet. Oh yeah, we found it. All right, awesome. So again, I'm just gonna have to run the entire thing so we can filter by ESP. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So this is Google, this is Microsoft. Now I know that when I'm gonna be creating the sales team campaign, I'm gonna have to create a campaign specifically for Google. My leads that are using Google Workspace, they're gonna receive my email from the emails that I have in Google Workspace. And the leads that are using Microsoft are going to receive the email using the Microsoft inboxes, okay? Now, filter by company size, done. So now what do we need to do? Well, we need to generate some sort of high quality personalization, okay? Now, this is not going to be like, hey, I saw your recent LinkedIn post about, I don't know, like whatever they had. This is high level, like high quality personalization. Really, really timely, really relevant to these exact leads because we're reaching out to companies hiring for sales, okay? So there's 2 steps to generating a high quality personalization, okay? Crafting an AI persona. Now, the cool part is that I already have a persona from a similar campaign that I ran back in October, and also crafting a master prompt. Let me know if you guys want tutorials of me explaining basically how to come up with an AI persona for your exact campaign. So I believe I have this document as winning campaign. Yeah, this is the one. Winning campaign back in October. So this is the master prompt, and this is the AI persona, and this is the copy that I used essentially. So we're gonna use this exact copy, right? Because I know it's gonna work. So check this master prompt. Imagine writing to the VP of sales at example company. Your task is to succinctly fill in the blank in the sentence, congrats on the recent milestone strategic impacts, with something noteworthy about their company, like funding, product launches, expansions, partnerships, and or major hires. Well, major hires because now we have the job description, so we're going to feed this master prompt the job description. The congratulations should be relevant to sales growth and business development. See, like the personalization need to make sense to them, not just congrats on your recent, I don't know, like hair transplants. Let the company's recent achievements be your guide. Your output should be just the start that naturally fills in the blank, not the whole sentence. Again, this is the anti-fragile method, okay, which means you just gather data off the internet of a random lead and you write a specific dream email for them and you turn it into a template and you use AI to fill that template with the data gathered. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Choose only key terms that are essential for identification. Give me the JSON. Okay, let's just go ahead and use the AI persona. Control C. And I believe we need to feed in something else. Actually, no. So let's just put this here. So check this out. Most companies hiring for sales support infrastructure struggle with keeping their pipeline full enough to support the new headcount. Now, what does that mean? So AI did read through the description of the job on top and identified the exact hiring pattern that they are going through in this exact season, which is the reason why they posted the job. Okay, so we're going to be using this, right? We're going to be using this exact copy. All right. So right now, let me show you guys how to generate a good personalization. So I am in N8N right now. I'm getting the data, okay? And then I'm going to use a language model, okay? Not Olama. That's not the one that I want. So LLM, basic LLM chain. Okay, define below, and simply we're gonna have to feed in the prompt. Control C, paste it here, execute previous nodes. Okay, and I'm gonna have to strategic impact. Okay, and I'm gonna have to feed in the job description. Okay, and then let's just use Claude for this, actually. 3.7 Sonnet. Okay, execute the flow. Congrats on the recent Series C funding round and rapid market expansion. Okay, so this is what I mean by a really good personalization. Okay, so we're just gonna have to generate personalization for 3,700 leads, which is gonna take us probably like an hour. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to you guys. All right, we just generated a personalization, as you guys can see. All right, now we need to generate the AI persona. So AI persona. Okay, and I believe this is not the same color. Here's the same color. And then white. All right, so now we need to generate the AI persona. So same thing, we're just gonna go to an AI model, and then we're just gonna have to copy this. Control C. And then GPT 4.0. Oh, actually, this is the prompt. What am I doing? Let me just execute this step. And then I'm gonna have to feed in the job description. Okay. So looks about right. Execute. Most companies I work with that are hiring for outbound lead generation struggle to keep the pipeline full enough to support the new headcount. See what I mean by great personalization? They are literally hiring for an outbound lead generation, right? Like lead generation specialist. And it's exactly what we do as a sales agency. So yeah, this is what I mean by good personalization. But right now I'm just going to have to generate 3,700 of similar personalization for each company is going to be different, right? For example, this company hire outbound lead generation, so the other ones are going to be SDR, sales rep, etc., which is essentially the same thing that we want, right? So I'm going to get back to you guys after I finish this up. All right, so I have my list ready, okay? I have the company name, persona, email, the personalization, great personalization. Check this out. Congrats on the recent 3.25M seed round after bootstrapping since 2019. Solid validation with Bryce Roberts leading. This is what I mean by deep research personalization. Most companies I work with that are hiring for strategic enterprise account management struggle with keeping their pipeline full enough to support the new headcount, okay? Before I actually do anything, I need to split this. Yeah. So first name. So I need the first name. So let me just go to ChatGPT, feed in a screenshot, and I'm going to say, generate a sheets formula so I can get the first name from persona. So, okay. So to extract the full name, so let me check this. Now, file, download, CSV. And then I'm just gonna go to instantly. So simply I'm gonna log into my instantly. I'm gonna upload these lead lists and just start the campaign live. So I'm gonna campaigns. This is gonna be starting a sales team campaign live. Okay, leads, add leads, upload CSV. Okay, so company name, persona, forget about this. First name, email. We're not gonna import the job description. Personalization, AI persona is custom variable. And I'm gonna click on OK. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so sequence is gonna be hey, first name. Okay, and I'm gonna go to my winning campaign. And I'm simply gonna have to, add the congrats line. But before, I'm gonna add the subject line, 1. So this is gonna be anti-fragile, which is the personalization. Hey, Paul. I'm gonna remove I'm gonna add a new line, yes. And then I'm gonna add again the AI persona, boom. Add a new line. And I'm simply gonna copy this. And actually, boom. And yeah, that's it. Copy this. Okay. Notice you're hiring for sales. Most companies I work with that are hiring for outbound financial service sales teams struggle with keeping their pipeline full to support the new headcount. I run a cold outbound agency that sends 17 times the volume of a typical SDR, helping new reps ramp faster without wasting time chasing bad fit prospects. So far, we've generated over 1.5 M in new revenue for clients worldwide by consistently filling pipelines and helping new reps ramp faster. Awesome. So right now, I'm just gonna copy this, add a new variant, and I'm simply gonna split test this. So filling calendars is better than filling seats, 100%. And I'm gonna add first name actually. Yes. Add another variant where I copy this, paste this here. I'm gonna add another one, early sales leadership, or maybe I can just add yeah, this is good. Just like this. And also I'm gonna split test. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So we're gonna wait a day, yeah, and then I'm gonna add the next stand, which is the follow-up. So SAD Mayo process. So variant 2, boom. So hey, first name. And Mayo process. Actually, I forgot to save this. Oof. All right, let's check this. And then I'm simply gonna split test. Sod. And then I'm gonna add this one first. For some reason, I have a gut feeling it's gonna work. Okay, step 3, which is going to be this one. Paste this here. A first name. And okay, if you're still figuring out how to support your new sales team with your pipeline, we just published a new breakdown showing how one client ramped to significant covers. Instead of sending the link, it covers message and daily volume. Mind if I send it your way? And I'm also gonna split with like more of a breakup email. Yeah. Okay. Schedule. I'm gonna start sending right now from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Even Saturday. And then options. I'm gonna use my emails. And text only yes. And so winning metric, reply rate, and provider matching yes. And simply, boom, campaign launch. So now the only thing I have to do is just wait. So I'll get back to you guys once I receive some positive replies. Okay, so not even 3 hours in, and we received 3 positive replies, okay? So this is the initial email. Hey Jason, congrats on the recent 313th ranking on the Deloitte Technology Fast 500 list for 2025. Smart timing with the AI recruitment market growing. Look at this reply. This is hands down the best cold email I've received in a while. Timing is great too. We've just onboarded a few reps and I'm looking for ways to get them ramped quickly. Let's set up a time to chat. What's your availability like early next week? So this guy literally is saying, hey, yes, let's hop on a call right now. Like, I want to pay you money. Let's see the second response. Hi, thanks for reaching out. This is actually quite relevant right now. As we're bringing in new reps, I'd be open to learning more about how we can help fill their calendars. Yes, so most companies I work with that are hiring for sales leadership teams build out struggle with keeping their pipeline full to enough to support the new headcount. Yeah, let's see the third reply. Hi, really like your approach. Definitely one of the best cold emails I've seen. We're actively thinking about how to get our new reps in front of the right people. This is well timed. Happy to hear more. Do you have a deck or case study you can share? Yeah. So I literally went for a 2-hour walk and there was like a nice beach view over there. And I came in and I see 3 positive replies of actual people who want to hop on a call as soon as possible. Okay. So let's actually dissect why this worked. Okay. Let me just copy this. Let's paste this here. Okay. So, hey, Joseph. Congrats on the recent acquisition, Full Circle Insights on your unified analytics solutions. Smart timing with the sales engagement sector growing. So again, what do I mean by this? This is very, very high quality. So this is high quality personalization, okay? Notice you're hiring for sales, again, very timely and relevant. Okay, they were literally hiring for sales, okay? Most companies I work with that are hiring for enterprise pipeline. Okay, so what I mean by that, AI just read through the job description and actually gave me like a really good output. And then essentially I have my offer here. This is my social proof worth a quick chat, okay? So why this worked is because I literally like reached out to the VP of sales okay? This is the exact persona, right? And I'm speaking to their pain points, okay? Because think about it, like the sales manager or the VP of sales slash sales manager, they are the people who are looking after all these sales reps. So these decision makers, they are the one who are handling these sales reps, okay? So if the sales rep doesn't perform well, that's not good, okay? So this is why it was relevant for them, okay? Another thing is because I'm reaching out with a good offer, well, I can send 17 times more than a typical SDR. And another thing, reaching out with something that actually solves a pain point, which is actually sales automation, right? So I can help them using sales systems, get in front of more decision makers that are interested in their current offer, product, service, whatever. So this is what I mean by using AI automation the real way. Okay, not, trying to sell crappy AI agents. Okay. So I'm going to leave all the resources for you guys so you can just copy and paste. Obviously add your little colors to the copy, add your own, social proof, add your own little color to it, and you'll be good.